It seems like everyone's talking about muscle mass right now. Thanks to the rise of weight loss medications, this topic is having a moment. And it's an important conversation. But the truth is, it was important long before these medications came on the scene. Aging, physical inactivity, steroid medications, menopause, chemotherapy, dialysis, all of these can cause muscle loss too. The conversation just got louder. But I want to offer something different today because I think the way we're having this conversation, loud, urgent, focused almost entirely on the number, is missing the deeper discussion. The one that actually changes how you feel in your body, the one that actually keeps you motivated, and the one that helps you move through your life with greater ease. Hi, my name's Janet Lagerman Holtz. I'm a clinical exercise physiologist, a board certified health coach, and a mindful movement teacher. For over 3 decades in healthcare, I've watched a fragmented approach to health take hold, one that floods us with information about the parts of us that are broken or could be broken, leaving us living in the shoulds and with a growing list of things we can't do right now. I believe this fragmentation is at the root of our struggles with our health, with healing, and with our habits. Today, I want to take the fear around muscle mass and turn it into something whole, something you can actually use to get the real results that you want. There are three things your muscles need for your whole person to be healthy: mindfulness, meaning, and intentional movement. And today I will walk you through each one, not as a prescription or another should on your list, but as an invitation to take a step back, to take a whole person view and move from fear of losing muscle to confidence you can activate your muscles to support the quality of your life. Let's start with something that you don't often hear in the muscle mass conversation. Protein doesn't make muscles. Your nervous system does. Every movement you make, from lifting something heavy to simply taking a breath, happens because your nervous system fires a signal that tells a group of muscles to respond. The coordination, the strength, the ease of movement you feel is not a property of how much muscle tissue you have. It's the product of how well your brain, your nerves, and your muscles are communicating. And that communication needs your presence to make it stronger. This is where mindfulness enters the muscle conversation. And I don't mean sitting still or clearing your mind of all thoughts. I mean a set of skills that can actually change your nervous system response, bringing your attention to your body with curiosity and with kindness. Feeling what is present, noticing how you're positioned, what your muscles are doing, what the movement feels like from the inside, and being curious and responding with kindness when your body says, no, thank you. That presence is the bridge between the nutrients your body delivers to your muscles and the strength your body expresses with your muscles. When you move with mindful awareness, when you are inside the movement rather than distracted through it, you are building something protein supplements can never create: the nervous system connection that coordinates muscle function or muscle memory. It's really nervous system memory of the symphony of muscle activation that creates movement. And your awareness is what strengthens it, but not just being aware, but aware, open, and responding with kindness. When we lift weights while watching TV or following along with a video that pushes us through some exercises, we are limiting the development of that whole person connection. The muscle memory will still develop, but your mindful attention puts you in charge of whether those movements are done in alignment with the movement mechanics that lead to your natural confident strength or with movement patterns that create unnecessary strain. Here's what the research supports. Multiple studies show that muscle strength and function, not just lean mass, predict health outcomes and longevity. A 2025 study in the Mayo Clinic proceedings found that people with the lowest muscle power had nearly 6 times the mortality risk or chance of dying compared to those with the highest muscle power. Not lean mass, power, and function. The connection between your nervous system and your muscles is what creates this benefit. But there's a bonus to moving mindfully. Mindfulness, presence, curiosity, kindness calms the stress response at the same time that you're strengthening your muscles. Why does this matter for muscle mass? Because chronic stress elevates cortisol, which actively breaks down muscle tissue. The worry about muscle mass itself is part of the problem. Mindful strength movements supports muscle health by clearing cortisol. Fear and alarm work against it by adding cortisol. When you add mindfulness to strength movements, you get more benefits that support not just muscle mass, but your whole person health. The second thing that I find this muscle mass conversation needs is meaning. There's a difference between moving and exercising. Exercise is intentional movement. It's movement for the specific purpose of taking care of yourself. Most muscle building advice kind of skips over this and it begins with a list of exercises that you should be doing, progression of load and sets and reps. It skips over this question, why does this even matter to you? Not the number on the scale or the number on the weight machine, but what will being stronger actually do for your life and the people in it? Without this, it quickly becomes a should or a task that you have to just get through. But I find that this below the numbers meaning of exercise is not always easy to get to. Our brains like absolutes. We get drawn in by the numbers and they become the goal. But that brain led approach fragments us. It forgets what your heart knows about why you want to be strong. This is exactly why I developed the core why questions. 5 questions that take you to the heart of what health really means for you personally. We distill it into one word that holds the big picture of meaning for you, the people that you love, and the life that you want to live. Getting up from the floor when you play with grandchildren, carrying groceries without pain, hiking a trail that you love, dancing, moving through a whole day without exhaustion. These aren't vague aspirations. They guide you to the specific movements your body can practice and strengthen because you know exactly what you're investing your time and your energy for. When meaning is at the center of movement, something shifts. I've noticed this in myself, my clients, and my patients. The motivation stops feeling like a should. The reasons you can't do strength exercises start to quiet. What rises instead is something that motivates from the inside, something that, dare I say, can make resistance training feel less like resistance. Instead, your motivation flows the way we're naturally motivated to care for the people and things that we love the most. When exercise has a heart level meaning, there's far less resistance to doing it. It becomes a moment of reconnection to what matters most, not just another task you have to get through. So, in my opinion, the most important starting point, the question that muscle mass conversation needs is not how much weight should you be lifting? It's what do you want your muscles for? And the third factor often missing from the muscle mass conversation is not about muscles or mass, but about movements. Your muscles don't work alone. They work in coordinated patterns directed by your brain and your nervous system. What we experience as functional strength, the ability to do the things we need and want to do with ease, is not a property of any one single muscle. It's the muscles working together in sequence. A body composition scale just can't measure this. It estimates the tissue quantity. It cannot tell you about the tissue quality, the fluidity of your muscles to transition from one movement to the next, how much ease you carry through an ordinary day, how well your whole body coordinates when you reach, lift, turn, or balance. You can gain lean mass and still not feel as strong as you want to moving through your daily life. Or you can even have less lean mass than the chart tells you is ideal and also move through your life with confidence and genuine functional ease. Movements keep you connected to your life, to the people you want to stay active with, the places you want to go, the things you most want to be able to do. Movements are what muscle mass exists for. They are the whole reason we care about it at all. And yet the muscle mass loss and resistance training conversation often loses sight of that entirely, but we can bring it back. We can have exercise that's designed around your specific movements, the ones that matter to you, done with presence and intention and connection to your core why. This way, you're not just building lean mass, you're building functional, coordinated, whole person capacity to have the best chance to live the life that you most want to live. So, if you're using a weight loss medication or restricting calories through dieting or weight loss surgery or going through chemotherapy or other treatments that affect muscle or have been on bed rest, the muscle mass concern is real. The advice to add protein and resistance training is reasonable and worth following. But approaching it from a place of mindfulness and meaning is not just philosophically different, it's physiologically different and more effective. It restores a sense of wholeness right from the start of the conversation, rather than adding more alarm to a body and a nervous system that's already navigating a significant change. So, wherever you are in the muscle mass conversation right now, whether it's because of a medication or a concern about aging or a scan result or simply the noise of the current health culture, I want to offer you this reframe. Your muscles are not a problem to solve. They are a part of your whole person that needs your whole person, your brain, your body, and your heart to be part of the conversation, the plan, and the actions. Mindfulness, meaning, and intentional movement keep you connected to your body, to your life, and to what matters most. The number on the scale, just one data point. It's not the whole story. The story is whether you can do what you love with the people you love for as long as possible. That is what your muscles are for. And that is the conversation worth having. Until next time, take care of your whole person and be well now.